Hi, everybody. I know many of you already online, so thank you for joining. I'm the Director of Sales here at WiSys, and I have a few slides to help set up today's presentation. So we're going to discover how WiSys Agility Shipping from Macola can help reduce errors and improve your order velocity. I know we're all interested in that. Nobody likes errors, and everybody likes to go faster. So in this webinar today, we're going to discuss Agility Shipping. It's an extension for our picking and packing module. So that's the base module you need to have, whether you purchased that module individually or it's part of a named user. That is the base module to be able to add Agility Shipping. And Agility Shipping will work with Progression, ES, or Macola 10. So wherever you are in your Macola life experience, you can use this product. Agility Shipping is our replacement for ShipRush. So I know many of you over the years have used our integration with ShipRush, which is a third-party application that allowed us to connect very early on to do UPS and FedEx. The ShipRush people have decided to go a different direction, and that caused us about 2.5 years ago to figure out what were we going to do. So we decided to create our own Agility Shipping. And I wanted to discuss a little bit about where the Agility Shipping positions with other shipping applications with Macola. So we'll talk about that a little bit because there are plenty. And during this webinar, we're going to watch, you're going to see me actually do some orders. I've got 4 different scenarios you're going to be able to take a look at. And most of them, are going to increase your order item validation. That's really important for reducing errors because when you're picking an item or going after something, you want to get it right the first time. And you're going to be able to watch me use the handheld today to do something brand new. This is a new application that's been added to Agility Shipping. Some people like to call it one and done, but really what it does, you take an order with an item and it creates the UPS or FedEx or USPS label. So just imagine the speed at which you can pick items to orders. Part of this is a discussion about how WiSys continues to integrate with SPS, the Data Masons folks, and be able to do your shipping and automatically create the required package structure. And that way you can avoid a lot of manual entry. So not everybody does EDI with ASNs, but if you do that, this application continues to work with SPS Data Mason. And the other nice thing about the Agility Shipping application is that it prints out paperwork, either generic paperwork, or it can be on a customer per customer basis, which is pretty cool. That means you could have an individualized packing list or invoice or bill of lading based on customer requirements. So what is Agility Shipping? Well, this is an offering that works directly with Macola. If you're using other applications, they may or may not integrate with Macola without some type of fussing around. The beauty of using Agility Shipping is that it bolts right in and becomes part of your Macola database. It's built to work with Macola. You don't have to mess around and do some type of integration to make it work. It will just work out of the box. And it works with UPS and SurePost. It works with FedEx and Ground Economy and USPS, which is really the 3 most prevalent shipping methods here in the United States and Canada. And these are the demos that I'm going to do today. First of all, I'm going to deal with something super simple called Simple Confirm Shipping. If you're already a WiSys customer, you already have that as part of your WMS application. And then we have the new single line shipping or one and done. I'm going to do something called directed staging with an international UPS order. And then we're going to take a look at some pallet shipping. And I'm going to show you how you can capture pictures and a signature as part of that stream of putting together a shipment and loading the truck. So let's go further. This is going to be our first demonstration. So Agility Shipping, part of it is something called simple confirm shipping. So as the name implies, you need to be set up in the Macola world doing something called confirm shipping. And confirm shipping is a process by which when you mark an order and an item as updated, it automatically increments and decrements your database for that item. So if in this case here on this order, you're going to see there are 12 remaining, and here's 10 that are going to go with that. So in this case, I'm just going to mark these items for confirm shipping. So this is really helpful, especially if you're using ShipGear or Starship or another product. Not everybody wants to use Agility Shipping. I get that. And if you're using a different third-party system, you can still use WiSys Simple Confirm Shipping to send somebody out in the warehouse with a pick ticket and have them mark those items as shipped. Then turn them in to the shipping department, let them pack up the order with ShipGear or Starship, and that order is ready to go. You've already marked those items as confirmed shipped, and those products will take care of the UPS order or FedEx, etc. What this does is it provides validation. So when you have the item on the screen here, it's going to validate that that item that you're going to scan is part of the shipment. That helps you get it right that first time, and that will reduce errors. And remember, you don't want somebody just to scan a pick ticket. You want them to actually scan a barcode label that's on the item on the shelf that they're grabbing. That way they're going to get the validation. And you'll see here there's a little button. You can actually print a packing list for the order. So let's go ahead and take a look how this works. So I'm going to shift over to my Macola database, wake it up, and I need to introduce you to a couple of applications. This is our desktop Agility Explorer. This application is designed to help you make decisions based on the orders you want to work with. I'm going to put that to sleep for just a minute, and we're going to take a look at my scan gun. It says I need to reconnect again. And I physically have my scan gun with me here. So there's the image of it. I'll just go ahead and pop up my camera here real quick. So that's me, and I'm using this physical scan gun here. I have to have it on an angle, otherwise the bright light will make it completely reflect away. But you're going to see me using this gun on this screen right here. So what I'm going to do is log in. And I am now using the Agility 360 application. I should mention that Agility 360 has been around for about 2 years now. Agility 360 is designed purely for Android, and it takes advantage of some of the physical functions on the handheld scanner. Could be signature capture, could be taking a picture, things like that. Nothing is actually stored on the gun. Everything is stored in SQL or actually on your computer on the server somewhere. So in this case, I'm going to slide down here to something called shipping. This is our simple confirm shipping application. So the first thing I need to do is scan my pick ticket. And then it says, what item am I going to go after? So I would go after that item. And here it's saying that I need 12, and I'm going to enter what I'm going to pick. So as soon as I do that, I've actually updated that sales order. It's now at status 7, and there's still more to go on this order. And so I'm going to scan another 12 for item B, and that order is now complete. So there's no more other items on this scan gun that I need to go after. So those are the items that are there, and those are the items that I've picked and shipped. Okay, so if you're sitting thinking that's really simple, that's what you're supposed to feel like. It's a very simple confirm shipping application. Okay, so that's what we just did right here. Let's take a look at the next example. Our next example is single line shipping. And my notes here tell me to mention if you're doing a lot of e-commerce orders, in the past we've had customers that shipped full pallets to warehouses. We've had customers ship mixed pallets. We've had customers shipping mixed cartons and cartons of products. As the evolution of shipping has gone on with the Amazon effect, many companies now are taking onesie, twosie orders. So we thought, why don't we just build an application where you can actually just, hand somebody a stack of pick tickets and say, go get these orders ready. So imagine right now you're going to have a cart, you're going to go out in the warehouse and begin to pick orders and print labels as you go. Many times you can get a HIP printer that will print one UPS label at a time, and you don't have to go back and forth to some station. So think about that from an order velocity standpoint, being able to pick something and print the label right there as you go. Now in my example, I'm going to do something very simple, which is just one item and one order. It could be more complicated for you. Obviously, everybody's world is a little different, but many times we have customers that I talk to, they buy things that are already pre-made and packaged, and they're never going to open that box to confirm that that item is really in it. The vendor they're buying it from is supplying it ready to go. So all you need to do is scan that box, print the label, and put that label right on the box that you're going to put in the UPS truck. So that's really the efficiency that we're looking for here. One item, one box, one carrier label. And if you need to print a packing list, you can do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Come back here, and we'll go back to this world again. And now we're looking at my scan gun. Make that a little bigger. Okay, so in this case, we're going to use another app, single line. I'm going to just touch it with my finger. And here, again, it's asking me to start with something. I need to validate what order I'm going after. And then I need to get the item. So I'm going to go to where the item is, scan that item to confirm it. I need to confirm the bin where that item is. And in this case, I need to remember where that item is. And it's in D100. So that's where I should have gone to get it. And then I need to get the lot number. So there's the lot number, and now it's asking me for the quantity. And the package size, I'm going to use that box code and get that. And I'm done. So you just heard me print a label. I'll show you what it looks like. Not that you've ever seen a UPS type label, but here is a label that was printed. It's a sample label because I'm in demo mode. But that's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. So that is one and done. And so you can imagine if you had 50 pick tickets, each one of them was for an individual order, and you want to just snap your way through it and put labels on boxes and be ready to put them on the UPS truck, and you're good to go. Okay. In our third example, we're going to take a look at something that's a little more complicated. It's a two-step thing. I'm going to be doing directed staging. And I've got a pick ticket in front of me with 3 items on it. And the trouble is in the warehouse, I have multiple bins for these items. And some bins have enough and some bins don't have enough. So I'm going to be directed through the warehouse. So you need to be using bin control. And the handheld is going to tell you as a warehouse worker, it's going to look like using your GPS. It's going to tell you where to go get stuff in the warehouse, which is pretty handy. This is very important because it eliminates that walking around looking for stuff. You know, if you're a person that needs to find things and you don't know exactly where they are, it'll tell you. And it's going to go through in an orderly manner. It'll start with A, the row A, then it'll go to row B, C, D, E, F, and then bins within that. Some people call that, sequential picking or wave picking. So it's taking you through a logical method in the warehouse how to get things. I think that's really important as you begin to get workers that are new to the job. They don't have to go on the tour by themselves, so to speak, and try and hunt down things in the warehouse. Okay, so let's take a look how this is going to work. And we'll go back. And we're going to go to directed order staging right here. Now, the idea behind staging, besides what I just mentioned, is I'm not actually going to be doing the picking of the order, but I'm going to be doing the movement. So we call it directed order staging because we're going to be moving items from the warehouse to the staging area. So it's really a bin-to-bin transfer. And then I'm going to hand off the order to the packing people that'll put the actual order together and get it out the door. So let's go ahead and do this. So here's the first item that I need to go after. If you look at the screen there, it says this is a bin component. So that's the name of the item. I named it that so I could remember what its characteristics were. And if you read the screen, it says the unit of measure is each, remaining quantity is 12, and it's telling me to go to A100 and get 10. So I need to confirm the item that I'm going to pick. I would physically walk over to A100. I'm going to scan the item that I'm going to put in my cart, and I'm going to confirm the bin that I'm going to get it out of. And then I'm going to confirm the quantity. Now, if I didn't find enough, this is going to be a dynamic change, and the system would respond to that. In this case, I'm going to get 10. Now the screen jumped. It jumped to the next item. And on this order, just so you know, I have an A binned item, a B binned item, and an E binned item. So it's not going in item number order, it's going in bin order. So it's taking me through that logical tour. So the E item, if you look at the screen, is in A102. So it's telling me to go to A102 and get 12 items. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to pick the item. I'm going to get the bin, and I'm going to get the quantity. Now it comes back at the top of the screen. You can see it's back to item A. So item A is now the next item in sequence going from bin to bin. So now I'm going to column or aisle B, and I'm going to get that item out of B100. So the item, I'm going to confirm the item that I'm going to get, and I scanned something incorrect. So I need to scan the A item. So there's an example of self-correction. I don't need my boss to come over here and tell me I made a mistake. It told me and it helped me on its own. So the A binned item, I need to go to the B bin, and there I go. And I need to get the last 2 of the 12. All right, and now I need to go to the next item, B binned item, and go to B100 and get the item. And finally, I need to go to J. So I'm going to go to J100 now and get B, that binned item. And the quantity is 2. All right. So you can see on the screen here, it's telling me that I'm now fully staged, which means I've moved all those components from the warehouse, probably to my cart, and now I'm going to wheel my cart over to the shipping area where the shipping guy is going to put the order together. Again, if you use Agility Shipping, you can use Agility Shipping to pack the order. You could also use this item, this component, for using it with a different shipping system. So if you want to stage items and ship them out with Starship or something, this is a great way to move your material to the shipping station and push them out from there. Well, since this is all about Agility Shipping, I'm going to show you how that would work. All right, now that the items are there, I'll use another WiSys app called Carton Pack. And I'm going to create a new shipment number and a new carton. Now this could be the same person, could be a different person depending on how your setup is. I'm going to scan the order again. I'm going to scan the item. And the bin is stage. It could be defaulted. And I'm going to confirm that I'm going to put 12 in this box. All right. So you can see at the top of the screen, I'm now working on 448 shipment. And a shipment, when you build a shipment has to go to one shipping address. You could have multiple orders on a shipment if you wanted to, but that shipment number represents an address that you're going to be shipping to. Okay, I'm going to put the next item in the same carton because I have room. All right, so there we go. I've got the shipment, the carton, and I'm going to push that button right down here called New Carton. You can see the screen responded with a new carton number, and I'm going to get the last item. I'm going to put that item in the box and confirm the quantity. And I'm basically done. So at this point, I have staged the material, and now I have packed up that order. So let's go back to the desktop Agility for a minute. And that order could just sit there. It doesn't have to go right now. It's going to wait until it needs to be shipped. And when I bring up Agility Explorer, I'm going to go to the shipping application that might be in the manager's office, or again, it could be run by the same person. I'm going to just get rid of this analytic here and open up Agility Shipping on the desktop. And our shipment number was 448. So if you look closely here, I've got my shipment number is 448, right there, 448. I have carton 1 and carton 2, and I've got the items in that carton. So it could just sit there and wait, or if you want to put it on the truck right now, all you do is push this button. And we're going to get a screen here, and this is our shipping screen. Like you to notice that I'm going to Calgary, Alberta in Canada, and that's going to require me to, if I try to hit the ship button, it's going to open up this application over here, and it wants me to fill out some detail. So those of you that are doing international shipping know that there's more complexity here, and I need to answer some questions. And type of shipment, and reason for shipment, currency, USD. It'll remember that going forward. I got some buttons to check here. The reason for the description is fasteners. And then I need to put in some codes. And so I'm just going to type these in here. And export. I think I'm good there. And it asked me a question, if I ever ship this item again, what code do you want to remember? It'll remember those codes for me. So I have to go a little slower today just because I haven't done this one for this customer before. And thirdly, and we're good. All right, so I have these different things checked based on how I want this to work. When I'm done, if there's nothing else to change, I hit the shipment button and we'll get a UPS label. So here's the sample label. It doesn't print the barcodes because it's a sample, but it would. Here's label 1 of 2, and here's 2 of 2. Now, typically, you wouldn't print this to the screen, but I did it for your benefit today. They would normally go directly to the printer. Once I complete that screen, that order or that shipment 448 moved from an end status of not shipped, and it's going to be moved to a status of shipped. So this information now has been written back into Macola. And let's go take a look at it so you can see what happened. So this order, if we look at the status of the order, is confirmed shipped. And then if we look at these different line items, we can actually see that this line item is part of this shipment number, date, UPS, and here's the carton number. So we actually write that to the Macola line level. If you have other comments in there, they'll just be appended to the bottom. So that is directed staging plus an international shipment, so you can see that how that works. That's all going through the Agility Shipping layer that's communicating directly with UPS, FedEx, or USPS. There's no end of day procedure. It is just real-time connectivity. Okay. And let's go to the next scenario. All right, we're going to take a look at a pallet shipment. So lots of customers that we have buy things on full pallets, usually one item on one pallet, or they manufacture with POP or shop floor, and they produce items to a full pallet. Those full pallets we call floating pallets. So inside Macola, Macola knows that an item could be bin controlled, an item could be lot or serial controlled, but Macola doesn't know anything about a pallet. But WiSys has a complete pallet layer. And so I'm going to be able to show you the movement of pallets and getting them on a truck prepared for a shipment. So WiSys provides for pallet shipping. We're going to acknowledge that the truck is loaded. So it's one thing to build the shipment. It's another thing to know that the truck has been loaded. And we're going to do a capture of a picture of each pallet that we put on the truck. And we want to do that because sometimes you have a particular customer that seems to like to give you the chargeback. And if you have good evidence, you can fight those chargebacks and save a few bucks. And we're also going to capture a signature. Some people want to get a signature of the driver that picked it up, and we're going to do that. Okay, so let's go take a look at that. Okay, so how are we going to do that? We're going to use a different device. We're going to use a tablet. So let me bring up that. And here is my tablet, and it went to sleep, so I'm going to wake it up. Now, the thing you need to know about this tablet, let me show you what it looks like. This is a Samsung Tab 8. It's about 300 bucks. I added a ruggedized case and a screen protector to this. It also on the back has a place for a kickstand if you want to just stand it up, or you can just stick it on your hand like that. Makes it kind of easy to use. So, and I've also added to this a ring finger scanner. So I'm going to put on my little ring finger scanner. You can see me flashing. And I'm going to log into the tablet. Now, you're going to be watching over here. I'm going to log in. And so I am now logged in to the tablet. So in this particular example, I'm going to touch the wrong thing. I'm going to touch the right thing. I'm going to switch to the pallet section, and I'm going to do something called load pallets. So I'm going to load pallets, and I'm going to build a shipment. I'm not actually going to load the truck yet. I'm just going to line up all the pallets, put it all together. So here, I'm going to hit the enter key. I'm going to get a new shipment number, just like I did using the other application you saw. I'm now going to scan with my ring finger scanner the order number. This is the pick ticket order number. And then I'm going to scan the item. And now it wants to know the item pallet that goes with that. So I'm going to scan that. And it's really boring. I'm going to do the same thing as I put all these pallets together. And remember, somebody has probably moved these pallets from the warehouse to the shipping area. So I'm just building the shipment of the pallets that are sitting here. And I'm validating that these items and I'm associating these items and pallet numbers to this shipment number 449. And I have one more to go. So I have built the shipment. So that shipment now has been created with 449. If I go back into Macola and look at Agility for Macola here, you have full visibility of the status of this shipment. And that's the wrong one. And so here's 448. And that's still wrong. 449. There we go. So 449 has 3 pallets. You can see them here. Pallet 1, pallet 2, 3, and you can see the item numbers that are on those pallets. Here are the carton numbers or pallet numbers. Here are the quantities, and here's the order number that I'm working on. If I wanted to ship this order right now, I could. But in my business, I want to know that the truck is loaded, and I'm also going to take a picture. So I'm going to bring up another little app here called Loaded Pallets. And if we look at 449, You'll see here's 449. Here are the pallets that are on that shipment. Have they been loaded on the truck? No. And the shipment has not shipped yet. So we just know where we are. And down below, you're now going to see me capture some images. So what I'm going to do now is you're going to watch me capture some images of these pallets that are loaded on my truck. So I'm going to touch this application right here called Load the Truck. And again, it wants to know what shipment number I'm going to work on, 449. And it wants to know that I'm putting this pallet on the truck now. So I do that, and I'm going to hit the button at the bottom. It says Load. And now it gives me an opportunity to take pictures. So here is you can see my WiSys pallet there with the pallet number 677. And I just hit the picture button and click OK. So you can see there's a little picture. I could take more pictures. Maybe you want to take a couple of pictures of each pallet. Just depends on your business. In this case, I'm done. I'm going to go to the next one. You can see there on the screen that pallet 677 was captured. Let's do another pallet. So here's 678. I'm going to take a picture of that pallet, click OK, and I'm good. Save it. Now what's happening is, let's go back over here to the database, and I need to hit this refresh button up here at the top. It'll refresh the database. So now you can see as I touch these two pallets here on the screen, I've got data down below that shows the date and time and things like that when Joe the worker packed this truck with this box. If I want to look at it, I can click it and I can actually see the picture on the truck or pictures right there related to it. If I click the last one, you can see here I haven't done this one yet, so there's no data. Okay, so let's go get the last one. All right, so I'm going to scan the last pallet, load, picture, and here's my last pallet. And I've saved those. Now you also notice at the top of the screen, there is a little stick for a pencil. And if I click that, it'll now let me sign the screen. And I've signed the screen, and I've captured my signature. So that's taken care of. Okay, so once I'm finished with that, typically you can do a couple of things. One, I closed that application. Sitting right here for 449, if I wanted to, there's the ship button right here. So I can actually confirm ship the truckload from the scan gun right here. So I'll just push the ship button. And it wants a signature again. Get that. And I'm pretty much done. Now if we go back over to Macola, the first thing is I think we should just look here at 449. And now we have all the different pallets here configured. And just to show you what's happening, there's a setup in Agility, and that setup is going to show me where I can send that data. Now I created a little desktop folder here. And you can see here that the items, these are the palettes, these are the images of the palette that I just took. So there's a number of images here and a signature. So you get a signature to go with the order, and it's kept in this folder so that you can actually get them if you need them very easily. And you can also manage them and delete them, after a year or something, maybe you don't need them anymore. You can come in and just delete these images. They are rather small in size. You can see this is a very small image. Customers that we have worked with said we don't need big images, we can do small ones to save some space. Because you can imagine if you're shipping hundreds and hundreds a day, you're going to end up with lots of images. Okay, and if we come back to Agility on the desktop, if I look at 449, you'll see that the status is shipped for 449. And if I want to print off paperwork here, I can do that. Paperwork with WiSys is dynamic. And I just type 449, and it'll bring up the paperwork here that goes with that. And even a bill of lading if you want. Now, because WiSys is object-oriented, it means that you can put this process together the way that's going to best work for you. So button clicks, movement, numbers of pictures, requirements, all those things can be tailored if you want. So today what I'm showing you is just more simple examples of how WiSys works to enable your process to be more fluid, to be more efficient, get that order velocity and accuracy going, and really reduce the errors. All right, I think we're about there. So I'd like to just stop now. Aaron is on the call with me. Aaron works in the WiSys sales department. And Aaron, do we have some questions along the way from people online?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. One of the questions that we had someone reach out to that apparently I think uses WiSys, but if some of the processes you've shown today are not typical to their processes in their organization, can we modify the forms to accomplish that? That was, I guess, a tailoring or a customization question about what you've shown today.
Yeah, exactly. I just mentioned that in the last frame.
Yep.
It's really common for us to start with a process and someone says, well, this works, but can you do this? So the beauty of it is that the WiSys applications are part of a framework of tools. And that means a consultant, a reseller partner, somebody from ECI, somebody from WiSys, maybe somebody on your own staff could learn how to manipulate these processes to better suit your company. So if you liked what you saw today in some way, shape, or form and want to make it yours, that's what it's all about. You can tweak it, change it, move it around, make it faster for you. So thanks for that question.
I think, they asked that well before you answered that in the last frame. Another question is based on the Agility 360 application, if that's an Android application. So I don't know if you want to add anything to the type of devices required. I know you showed your tablet, so it's an Android-based product.
Yeah, so you could use your cell phone. If you have an Android-based cell phone, this Agility 360, and Agility 360 is our evolution from our original product that was been out for 15 years called Agility Mobile. So Agility Mobile worked on Remote Desktop Protocol, RDP, terminal server. That's a highly scalable application, but everything is running on terminal server. And because you're running on terminal server, you really aren't taking advantage of the power of the scan gun or the features of an Android scanner. So as you may or may not be aware, but over the last few years, the Microsoft CE.NET application on scan guns has been sunset and terminated. And it left people like Zebra and Honeywell and others, and really any Android product now, Android 8.1 and above, to be able to run the WiSys application. So it's actually a client, really it's a web service application that runs right on the scan gun, and it's communicating through web services back and forth to an IIS server. So really, the world is open to you to use specific scanners. On our website, if you looked at WiSys support and you looked at online documentation, there's a whole section with some sample scanners. Now, the ones that are there are ruggedized. They're not the cheap stuff. They are the stuff that can take a licking and keep on ticking. So those items there are going to be, $1,000 plus, gadgets. But just like I had today, this tablet that I have with a ruggedized case is under $500. So you have to just decide which gadget works best for your people. Some people have taken a Tab 8 and wired it into the headlight of their tow motor, and they have power all day long, and they use a scanner to go with the tablet, and it's still a lot less expensive, and it's bolted down so that people don't lose them. So there's
So there's a
lots
lot
of
of flexibility and options there for you, Bob. For
that's
sure.
really true.
Yeah. One other question here, that you showed the picture capture with the pallet management at the end there. You may have answered this, but somebody wanted to know if that picture or signature capabilities were available in any other forms in WiSys.
Well, they can be added, but they'd have to be added to an Agility 360 screen. So if you have a specific app, if you're an existing customer today and enjoying Agility Mobile, if you have a current build of WiSys, you're going to have access for free to Agility 360. It works with the same handheld device license that you have for Agility Mobile. You can just use Agility 360. So if you want to push a button on a different screen, you just have to add that button and capability to that screen, and we can help you do that along the way. That's a tailoring application, so this is something we can help you with.
Great. Awesome. And then we have one final question, Bob. Someone asked about integrating with Uber Freight TMS program. Can this be integrated with Uber Freight TMS program?
Not today, but that's a capability that our development team is looking at, being able to add web service calls to the Agility applications. So we do have some other tools that we could potentially use. So if that's something that you want to do, please send me an email at the address on the screen, and I'd be happy to respond to you and tell you about our options for that. It's just a little more complicated right now to integrate with other web services, but we could certainly talk about the tools we have to do it.
Great, thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Is that it?
That's all the questions I have for today.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Evan at ECI, for putting together our webinar. This will be published by ECI and sent around to you. And of course, you'll be able to get these videos on our website too. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, Bob and Aaron. I would also like to thank everyone for attending today's webinar, and many thanks again to you both for joining us here today and sharing your expertise. Everybody here on the call, please don't forget to complete the survey at the end of the webinar. Have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.